Hello, this is Jess. Chat session number 96, February 4th, 2018. Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl against the New England Patriots. It was a tight game, but I did predict that the Eagles would win. But no discredit to the Patriots. I honestly am not a fan of either team as far as who I would like to see win. But in reality, I looked at the past and the underdog situation with the Eagles in every playoff game, and they somehow pulled off a victory. Made me go with them on this. So that's that. Super Bowl's over. Football's over for a little while until we get started back later on. So good NFL season. Next year, watch out for the Seahawks. Gonna go right into the chat sessions. 1974. Patty Hearst, the 19-year-old daughter of publisher Randolph Hearst, is kidnapped from her apartment in Berkeley, California by 2 black men and 1 white woman. Her fiancé, Stephon Weed, was beaten and tied up along with a neighbor who tried to help. Many people were witness to her being forced into the trunk of a car, but they couldn't come out and do anything because they apparently had guns and they were shooting them. And so everybody stayed hidden until they drove off. And it turns out that she was actually part of the whole plan. They wanted the Hearst Corporation to give $20 million to feed the homeless and the hungry people in, I guess, LA and California. And over the next year, she was spotted a couple of times being part of robberies that were going on in banks and different places, and that she managed, I guess, to skirt across most of the United States back and forth. And in March of sometime in 1976, she was captured at an apartment in San Francisco, and then she was sentenced to 7 years in prison, and that was in March of 1976. Her sentence was commuted by Jimmy Carter, and she was officially pardoned by Bill Clinton in 2001. Alright, the next little tidbits of history is 1789. 69 members of Congress cast their ballots to elect George Washington the first president of the United States. John Adams was the vice president. Washington didn't really want the position. He just didn't think that it was in his final years of living or whatever. He wanted to go back to his home and not be so involved with politics and stuff after the new nation was formed and stuff. But the public, apparently he had their backing, and they persuaded and I guess talked about it enough to where he took the position. He was charismatic, I guess. He had a lot of support, but he just didn't want to turn into something that they had just fought to be free from. He wanted to form a different kind of relationship with the government and the people. And so, anyway, that was that. This is, like I said, the first elected president of the United States in 1789. Where do you where do you stand on things like fairness, on justice, on and I'm not saying life is fair, and I'm not saying that everything is justified, but does there have to be such a division along the lines of caring about somebody or your fellow man, caring enough to make sure that people that have a tough time, if we reach out and show some kind of compassion and stuff, instead of shouting out about you're having a hard time and so therefore you must be trying to take away from me, or you came from somewhere that was oppressed but now you're here and you're trying to take from me or whatever. Where is that line? I guess every individual has it, but we have so many people that saying what's right and what's wrong, and yet fundamentally as humans we know what is right and what is wrong. You can take religion out of it, you can take politics out of it, you can take all that out of it, and then you're left with the truth. And there is a right and there is a wrong in all situations. May not be likable by individuals, may not be even tolerated by individuals, but there is a truth. And if you're into the truth of causing turmoil and division, and it'll show. And if you're into caring about your fellow man, making sure that someone's not dying because they can't go to the doctor because nobody will see him because they don't have a job, and that's no reason to have a death sentence put on you because you don't have a job and you're sick and you need medical care and you can't get it. I don't know where that falls in the area of being a Christian or caring about your fellow man, but so many people are opposed to that kind of behavior, when in fact it's the right behavior to have concern and actual take action to care for others that aren't as fortunate as yourself. And I'm not saying there's a right way or a wrong way to do it, but we should all push ourselves to make our area around us that we can actually influence better by being a true person of action when it comes to people that are in need, and you have the ability to help them, or to check in and make sure everything's good for just simple things. Not even time is one thing, money's another. Just things for the elderly, for the underachievers, the ones who don't have their stuff together and they make a lot of mistakes financially, different things. We need to examine our own motives of life and realize that the right thing to do is to have a concern and a caring for your fellow man. Will people take advantage of that and try to I'm sure there's scammers everywhere. But the general concept is if what you feel like you're doing is right, then you should do that. And I don't think that anyone truthfully was like, hey, I'm going to let these people die because I want to keep my money. I don't ever think that comes down to that, but you hear people talk like that when they want to talk about all these people that are scamming and taking stuff, and it's my money, they can't have it. Yeah, there's a certain line. Every individual has it, like I said, but I think as a country, as a nation, as a world, there's fundamental rights and wrongs that are inherent to the survival of our species. Be truthful, be happy, and let's look out for each other, okay? Chat session number 96 coming to a close.